And as far as the golf cart canopy, yes, they're probably maybe a little bit. That is, and you're more than welcome to ask him, but that is travel for him around the immediate area. His son is able to drive him around. When you have 3 people living there and 3 cars and an ADA ramp, they just put it in the best place that they thought they could, and actually to cover the vehicle.
I understand and commiserate and the porch. However, I'm concerned about the county being correct in the fact that the golf cart port is right out front and has to be, if we approve it, we're going to have golf carts in the front yard all the way down the street. So the county says there's another place to put the golf cart shed, lean-to, canopy. So it looks to me, and correct me if I'm wrong because I just ramble, okay? But it seems like we took an expedient place and put this golf cart cover someplace, and that is something that you could have done a better, I think, done a better job at locating. And front porch, okay, in my opinion, not necessarily the boards. Front porch, fine. Ramp, fine. But I'm concerned about the location of the golf cart. So are you saying the county is wrong that there is no other place to put the golf cart? Canopy?
There's, it's hard to see, but the driveway, there's aesthetically probably not in the front.
Do you have a mouse you could show, Stephanie, to move it? Yeah, put that where a golf cart would go. On the picture. Yeah. You can't do it on the front of the house on a previous picture?
Oh, so, yeah, I guess I was thinking that there may be another location and potentially the backyard, and there's a lot of patio here, there's existing building. I don't know if you can, the part issue here is that doesn't meet setbacks. I don't know if you can do an awning coming off from part of the property where you wouldn't be encroaching in the setbacks. It just seemed like there was, and there is a lot of building on this property, so there isn't a ton of room, but it seems like you could potentially make something work.
But you have a driveway that runs all the way back. And
That's incorrect, sorry. It stops.
Yeah.
okay, but can the canopy be situated behind the truck?
No,
Or
sir.
the- No.
Two huge oak trees
The
right
nefarious
behind
trees.
the truck. There's,
Sir,
Tell them your name.
I need your name, sir.
Chuck Oliver. I'm the owner along with my wife
Okay, thank
of
you.
the property. There is no other, you couldn't even get a golf cart on either side of the house because of the proximity to the lot lines. And there's just, and we tried. We didn't, it's under a tree. It's not really visible, except you get right on it. But we would have liked to have had it somewhere else, but we couldn't figure out what to do, where to put it, how to put it.
You made the comment, though, that if you moved it, it would be still close to the property line, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but it's outside of the property line now. I mean, if we say no, we're telling you that we don't want the golf cart there for the same reason we don't want the golf cart anywhere else, but we may let you have the golf cart canopy someplace else. It doesn't seem to me to be impractical to move it, that's all I'm saying, because the lot line and the setback encroachment is current, and wherever you move it, it's gonna be an encroachment, but it won't be in the front yard. Am I saying this all wrong?
Well, I was trying to say there's no way to get it in the backyard, the golf cart in the backyard. There are fences on both sides. I'd have to take the fence down, and maybe my neighbor would let them go through their yard, which they wouldn't allow.
If I may, I have a picture of.
You're about to run out of your time. One quick comment, and then go ahead.
I have a picture of the porch prior to construction and showing the ramp and the golf cart location if you'd like to see it.
I don't think that's necessary. Anybody want to see the picture?
Yeah, let me see that picture. Now, I live not too far away from that, and I'm concerned about all that golf cart stuff going up and down in there. Where does he want to put the golf cart?
See that post?
That post right there?
That's the edge of
Okay, okay, whoops. Is it going to be? Okay, is it gonna be in a enclosed area, or is it just gonna sit out there? The golf cart?
It's got 4 posts, and then it's got a.
So it's gonna be under a canopy, is that it? Okay, and is he gonna be using that, the golf cart?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Thank you. Do we have anybody here for or against? Please rise and state your name and go to the microphone.
Hi, my name is Dr. Mary E. Smith, and I represent the property next door, 745 Ocean Boulevard, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak here to you. Thank you very much. I came down, flew down to specifically give you some feedback. I'd like to respectfully request that you double check the front porch on the older piece house that's there. It's approximately twice the size it was originally when Mr. Oliver bought the house, and that's been allowed to stand. His carport that is in the front is quite large and also not very attractive. It is an eyesore. And I would respectfully request that the electric that runs to it as well as the carport be positioned elsewhere. It is not an attractive addition next to 745 Ocean Boulevard.
Excuse me, you're using the word carport? Is that
It's large.
different than?
Yes.
Is it the same as we're talking about? So it's not, you're not really talking about the carport, you're talking about the golf cart port.
It is the size that a car would fit under.
I
So I'm sorry, I may
understand
be
that, but-
calling it the wrong vehicle.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And then in addition, the fence that runs along the west side of that property is built so that the iron pin for the final corner of 745 is on his side of the fence, and it's not accessible for my property when it gets surveyed. So I'd like to respectfully request that his fence be placed such that the iron pin for the property at 745 be accessible for 745, that the carport or the vehicle port be positioned where the previous steps were on the porch that is now quite a bit larger than it was originally. So where the steps were before would be a lovely place to put the golf cart. And the golf cart sat there for many years, not underneath a port. So I'm not sure what has changed now. So those are my respectful requests. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, I'm available to answer them. And I have a picture of my survey showing that the iron pin for 745 is on his side of his fence.
Or on the side of your fence or his fence?
It's his fence, and it's on his side of his fence, and it is not accessible to anyone that surveys my property.
But have you been limited in the use of your property based upon the pins and the fence?
Is that a requirement that it would limit something I would do there? I would respectfully request that the pins for my property be accessible to my property. That's my request.
Are you saying that his fence is on your property?
I'm saying that his fence is obscuring the iron pin that is the final corner for my property, so yes.
It is
Yes,
on
sir.
your property?
Yes, sir, and this has been brought up to him over the years. I'm not going to have a fuss over it, but I would like respectfully to note it for the record and request that his fence be moved. Thank you.
I think, Stephanie, you need to take a look at that one, I think.
And I've mentioned it to her office and spoken to her on the phone about it as well before I came.
Okay, I'm being a
Thank you very
simple-minded
much.
individual. We now have what, right or wrong, you're contending is that because the pin is on, your pin is on his property, so the fence is wrong.
Yes, sir.
And the fence has been wrong for how long?
Since it was built, it was initially brought up to him, and there was no acceptable response made. It was basically ignored.
I need to think about my next
Sure.
question.
I know this is sudden.
Do you have a question, please?
That's a conundrum, that's all I can tell you. Yeah, so I'm visualizing in my little head that your pin, his fence is on your property. That's basically what it is.
Yes, at the back corner, yes, sir.
And how many feet is that onto your property? Do you know? 6 inches, a foot, what?
I don't know. I can't give you that information.
But it is on your property.
I know that my pin is on his property, on his side of the
Yeah,
fence.
yeah,
On
it's
his
on his
side.
side. But
That's-
but his fence is on your property. That's it. If your pin is on his property, then,
At the corner in the back, yes,
yeah,
sir.
okay, at the corner on the back.
Yes, sir.
And you don't know whether it's 6 inches or a foot or 2?
Yes, sir, correct.
Okay,
Your statement is correct.
okay. I don't know about that one. Yeah, yeah. We're going to think about this one, yeah.
I can show you on a survey if you'd like to see.
The difficulty is that the placement of the pin and the placement of the fence is not part of the request for ZV 3903. But the way it, to me, that affects 3903 is the fact that it sits on whoever property, which is part of the reason that we can't move the canopy. Am I right or wrong?
There's no reason that canopy can't be moved, except that they chose to put it where they put it.
No, please answer my question.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
My question is, the fact that the fence is in the wrong position, does that, if the fence was moved, would he be able to move, or would he be able to have the canopy? He says he can't put the he says he can't put the canopy anywhere else because he would have to move the fence. At least that's what I
That's the north
understood.
corner. Yes. I would suggest that creatively, the carport could be moved to where the previous steps were on the front porch, which he described having to remove. But that is, I'm not a builder, and I believe that there could be a solution here rather than saying there's no place to put it.
Well, we're rapidly running out of response time. Let me ask this real quick. Your main objection, right or wrong, in my estimation, is the canopy, correct?
Yes, sir?
So if he builds the porch and he rebuilds the ramp, you don't really have a problem, but the part of it is that you have a problem with is the inclusion of the canopy, correct?
Well, I have 3 concerns. One, the front porch has been extended from its original footprint, even if it was 40 years ago. Number 2, he put his fence where he chose to put the fence without noting where the pins were. Number 3, the carport is placed where he wants to put it, which is an eyesore, and it's right up there in the front of the property.
Okay, thank you. You have any
Sorry.
more questions?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You want to
thank you.
put back up?
And if I may just say, the fence situation is more of a civil issue than a matter that the county would really be involved in if it is between property owners. If it was a matter of the fence being in the right of way, that would be more of a county issue, of course. So in terms of the question of, you know, where is the property boundary in order to move a building, that's definitely relevant. But if it is a discrepancy between where the property line is between the two owners, that would be more of a civil issue than a matter that this board would take up today.
No, I agree, the property line fence is not within our purview. I was only wondering if, because the applicant stated that he couldn't move the cover back because it would encroach, or it would do something to the fence, because he didn't have the room, but yet he has created his own Bernard, I guess, by having the fence in the wrong place. Okay, that,
Yep, absolutely, yeah, I understand that issue.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have the possibility of motions. I'll entertain a motion, please.
Is it possible that we go ahead and approve the ramp and postpone the competition?
We can approve the ramp, we can approve the porch, and we can say no to the part about the cover. It says with conditions, we can set the conditions.
Stephanie, you had conditions up there on approval beside that one.
Right.
Where is that? There was one you put up.
Yeah, this is my
That's the
recommendation.
one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one that's probably the most amiable one for this situation. Yeah, I think that's the one that'd be okay. Yeah, that would be okay, I think.
All right, I need a recommendation for ZV 3903.
I recommend partial approval of ZB 3903 to include the following: denial of the encroachment for the golf cart canopy and approval of the front porch and handicap accessible ramp on the single-family dwelling.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Second. Okay, having a second, all in favor, raise your right hand. I don't see any right hands.
Does that help you a little bit?
Right hand.
Good.
Ah, okay. The amended recommendation motion is approved. The golf cart canopy is not approved. The porch and the ramp are approved. Does that conclude our business? Okay, thank you
does.
very much.
Yeah.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Turned out pretty good. We've been on a voracious bite, and they've been medium today. The water's beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't know if the camera guy can get that at all, but we're seeing that lure down there 3, 4, almost 4.5 feet down below the boat. And it's the cleanest I've seen it in a long time. And that makes a big difference, too, for any fish, I think.